strap into the party wagon and hold on to your pizza.
All right, everybody, and welcome to Epic Tales from the Sewers. I'm your most excellent host, Justin, with my co-host, Mr. Eric Will. How you doing, Eric?
Doing fantastic. How you doing, Justin?
Wonderful. I have a very special guest to this today, Mr. Kirk Kooks, straight from the UK, right? With his book here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Pizza Wednesday, or TMNT Pizza Wednesday. Kirk Kooks.
Hi guys.
Now, the fantastic thing about this is I ran across your videos making I don't want to describe them as disgusting, but I'll say interesting pizza recipes. And I kind of fell in love, and I'm like, this is awesome. I can't wait to talk to him about like this experience. And I opened to probably the nastiest one, which looks like anchovies and bananas. But
Oh my gosh.
how did you get started in doing this? Let's maybe we'll start off there.
Right, so years ago, are you aware of James Rolfe from Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd?
I've heard of him.
He did a video on his channel like many years ago. You're talking like probably about 15 years ago, where they went through a list of about 20 pizzas from the original 87 series. And I saw that, and then it was funny to watch at the time. And then many years later, I got quite into my cooking. I got quite into particularly pizza making. And a few people said, why don't you do a YouTube channel? And I was debating it, but I'm not exactly the most confident person in front. I mean, I'm better now, but in front of the camera, I used to hate it. Like the first few episodes, I look back on, I think, God, they were not good. But yeah, so and then I just decided to do it. So I was working through the same list that they used, which was 20 pizzas, which if you Google like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pizza list, it's like usually comes up quite quick on Google Images. But I think now when you Google it, a lot of my images from Reddit as well. Yeah. But that used to be like the first thing that come up. So I started on that. And it was just like a bit of a gimmick to do alongside like just like a regular cooking channel, really. Like, and that's why we called it TMNT Pizza Wednesday. I mean, originally I had a video on a Monday, a video on a Wednesday, a video on a Friday, but it got a bit busy, and I thought I don't know how people do YouTube channels like this because it's crazy. So then it just sort of just turned into just Pizza Wednesday for the whole channel, really.
And so I saw on the last page of the book, we had a picture of you, and you said an old Raphael jumper. Have you always been into the Turtles? Like, does this go back to you being a kid watching the series?
As long as I can remember. I mean, obviously in the UK, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles for a long time because apparently the word ninja wasn't allowed. I don't understand that. But and I think that was why they actually edited out Michelangelo's nunchuckers as well in a lot of the past episodes because of the UK stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was always into it as a kid. I had all the toys, I had all the Playmates toys and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely.
That's fun. Who's your favorite? I'm going to assume that it's probably the one that was in the book, but who's your favorite turtle?
It's Michelangelo, actually.
Really? Okay. All right. That shocks me a little bit. So you like the one that likes the pizza. That totally tracks. Yeah. So with this, I mean, going through this journey and all that, obviously like the big questions are, what was the worst one you had? What was the best one? What was that worst pizza out of all the recipes in here? Because you've got 67 in here?
Yeah. The only one that legitimately made me throw up was peanut butter and clams.
Oh.
Because it tasted okay because all I could taste, I mean, I found peanut butter seemed to strangely work on pizzas, which I was surprised at. So all I could taste at first was the peanut butter, and then the peanut butter sort of started melting in my mouth, and then I had this horrible clam stuck in my mouth, and it just as soon as I started chewing down on that, I was like, no. And that legitimately was the only episode I legitimately threw up on. A close second to that would have been the liver and bubble gum, which if I hadn't spat that out into a bag, I would have thrown up again.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
And it was what, like a can of clams, like minced clams?
It was just cooked whole.
Cooked whole, okay.
I'm not sure what there was, to be honest. I just bought them pre-fingered, in a jar. So
yeah,
whatever they were, they weren't nice.
Yeah,
I'm not a
that
big
definitely sounds
seafood
gross.
fan, to be honest. I like seafood, but not on pizzas.
Wow. Yeah, and bubble gum. What was the? Did you just cut up like a gumball, or was it like a?
No, we had. I don't know if you have it in the States. It's called Hubba Bubba, and you get it
Oh,
in
of
different.
course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. I put 4 different flavors on it. I got a tangy apple flavored bubble gum with a piece of fried pig's liver.
Oh, wow.
So it was not. I think there was only one of that was one of the later episodes when I had my mates with me doing it as well. And there was 4 of us eating it, and one of them said he didn't mind it, whereas the other 3, me and the other 2 guys, just all spat it out. It was like one nibble, and we were done with that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds gross. I definitely see peanut butter working on pizza, though. We've had a previous guest who says that he had one where it was like a tomato sauce mixed with peanut butter, and that was just how they made it, as like a base peanut butter sauce, and it was great. So I can see that.
Using peanut butter as the base because on some of them I would split it in half and do because when you watch the cartoon, it always just sort of looks like a basic cheese and tomato pizza, and they sort of just say whatever's on it, and you can't actually see it. But so I always use like a basic tomato sauce as the base, but every now and again I would use do it half and half. So I'd do one half with a tomato base and the other half with like the peanut butter base or something. And peanut butter base on a pizza, wow! I was massively impressed by how nice it was, to be honest. I mean, I've literally made it again using peanut-based pizzas, using a peanut butter base, not like for the channel or anything, because I thought it was that good.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was kind of shocking when I was watching your video and you said, "Oh, all I could taste is the peanut butter," and I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, that's a really robust flavor. That would kind of come through." On
Yeah, it does. It does overpower quite a lot on some of them. The ones that tend to have peanut butter on, it does overpower. Other than if you've got clams underneath it, and then the clams kick in.
Oh man,
Oof,
that's absolutely brutal.
That's brutal.
And what about the smell on something like that? Was it a pleasant smell or no?
The smell when I was cooking them was worse, to be honest. That was when most of the problem kicked in, when you're actually cooking them, because I've got a couple of different types of pizza oven, like one that I can use on my stovetop, and then a proper wood burning one that I have in the garden. But most of the time I'd use it on the stovetop in the kitchen, so then you'd get these pizzas cooking in the kitchen with all this horrendous stuff on top of it, and the kitchen it did not smell nice like by the end of the time. Because I'd film them in batches, and I'd cook about 5 or 6 of these pizzas in one go. And by the time I've finished cooking them all, it was not a pleasant experience to be in that kitchen.
Oh wow, yeah, I can only imagine. That's right. So well, let's talk about what flavors worked for you. What did you really like?
Oh, let me have a look at the index, because I forget how many was in it. Let me just have a quick look at the index in the book and what we got.
In the meantime, while you do that, I'll tell everybody this is a great book. I picked it up on Amazon, and it was really interesting to go through. There's color pictures, color photos through it, and then it just kind of leads to more and more questions, because some of these things you would not put on pizza for the life of you, like gumdrops and I mean, liverwurst. I'd probably put liverwurst on.
That was actually quite nice, liverwurst. Yeah. It was, but I think
I grew up with that. So
yeah, I think you can get this. Like the one I used was like a solid sausage, which I was told isn't a typical liverwurst. It's usually like a spread.
Oh,
but I couldn't really. I was struggling to find that in the shops around here, so I bought it was just called the liverwurst sausage. It was like a solid sausage.
That's what we get. It's wrapped with paper, kind of.
Yeah,
it's almost kind of like bologna, sometimes
exactly.
like the summer deer bologna that we get sometimes around here. Yeah,
and we all agreed that was a really nice one. To be honest, we all liked the liverwurst one.
I like the flavor of liverwurst, but I wasn't sure if it was because I grew up poor. It's what we ate, but I wasn't sure. I'd eat that, so at very least, and I like the idea of putting salami on pizza too. And
yeah, definitely.
It's just that's one of those things that we get in like a New York pizza. They have those really big slices of pepperoni, which is nice for coverage, where you're not worried about like these tiny little dots. Yeah. So. And do you have plan? I should ask this: do you have plans to continue with this? Are you going to do any more? Or, are you going to continue with the page?
We do. I'm taking a little bit of a break at the minute, because I started this in like late December 2000, and it's like I say, when I started doing the channel, it was like 3 videos a week, and I'd do this alongside regular cooking videos. And then COVID kicked in, and then it's sort of like I just stuck to it because there's nothing better to do. And then things we've all got a bit busy at the minute. It's like we was hoping to resume it straight after the finale, but we've got people on holiday. We've got one of my mates is moving house, so it's sort of like we're going to take a break. I think until like mid-September, then hopefully get back together and start doing something again. Which we was going to revisit some of the ones in the book and the ones that we actually liked, and see if we can actually make them even more edible. So there's like real pizzas sort of thing.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then
like
we was going to go
make
through
yogurt work, on a pizza. Like, what would we do to make this work?
I'm not sure. I think in some cases it would be like maybe removing the odd ingredient and stuff like. No, if you sort of like tweaking them just a little bit, like if we felt something worked but something on it ruined it, we'll just tweak it a little bit. But then the other thing is it's not easy to research it, but I've been trying to go through like old comic strips and video games and the films and the other cartoons and stuff just to find as many pizzas as I can, which I think I've got about 10, which isn't a massive list because obviously a lot of the other materials not as pizza based as the 87 series was. So, but I'm going to try and do as many of these ones as I can that we find in other materials, and then we will revisit some of the other pizzas as well from the original Fair 67.
You could do the movie with penicillin on the pizza.
Or flies or stink bugs.
Oh,
flies and stink bugs. I did suggest we do that one if I can find some edible bugs, which I'm pretty sure
I've had some crickets. I've had cheddar crickets. I've had some crickets. Not too bad. And
salt
scorpion.
And vinegar, I think. You had a scorpion? Mm-hmm. Was it in a bottle of booze?
No.
Okay.
I've had the worm. I've had the worm in there. I've had the worm in tequila. And
but would you put that on a pizza is the question.
I mean, if it had tequila on it, then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. So
you mentioned before. Tried ants.
Oh, with the ants, yeah,
big little sugary ant things. I've had them before, so I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm quite happy to try and do the movie one if we can.
I think it would be interesting to see ants on them, and just for pure spectacle alone.
Yeah, so that is the. I mean, if you've watched many of the episodes, there's the guy, one of my friends called Jason, is actually complaining that we don't do it anymore because he actually really used to enjoy doing it. So we're going to have to get back to it, like I say. Hopefully, middle of next month, we'll start doing some filming again and getting back on it.
Oh, that's awesome, and we'll definitely have a link to everything that you're doing from ours. We'll share on their page and all that.
Cool, appreciate that.
I wanted to talk to you about cooking, just cooking in general, because you'd mentioned that you're doing just some regular cooking. What's the most difficult thing that you've had to cook? Like, is there something that has like a specific, maybe like a technique or something that you've had to learn on your journey of cooking?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, it's probably the pizzas because I mean,
really,
it took me years to get a decent pizza dough recipe down that I was actually happy with, and I could like hand stretch, and it was easy to handle and stuff like that. It took me probably about a good 3 years to like perfect what my pizza dough recipe, to be honest. So that's like the only thing I really put a lot of time into doing. It's like, I mean, I cook like lots of other foods on as well, but it's like pizzas is sort of like if we're having parties and we've got people around, I'll be in the garden cooking pizzas up and stuff for them. So
yeah, it makes sense.
I'd say the thing that I've put the most time into and that was the hardest thing that I've worked on would be my pizza dough.
That's great. We the nice thing about our show is we have a pizza recipe on every episode, and last time was sourdough pizza dough recipe. So which is interesting because I didn't know that was a thing. We were talking to some folks from New Hampshire, and that's, I guess, one of their regional delicacies is having sourdough flavored pizza crust. I had never heard of this.
I've tried it before, but I've never tried making it before. I've never delved into sourdoughs. It's not something I've ever.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. To be honest with you, my son actually said something about sourdough pizza today, and I'm like, dude, sourdough, like sourdough is a process. It truly, truly is. I've made sourdough before, and don't get me wrong, it gets the smell gets pretty pungent after a while, because I mean, you got to think it's sitting for a few weeks, if not more. Yeah. Like I said, it's a huge process.
He wants that pizza now.
Sorry, my little guy's here. But hang on.
He wants that sourdough pizza. He's like, Dad, you talking about my pizza?
But with sourdough, because I went to I actually went to culinary school, and I did I did some breads class and pastry, and as well as the culinary side too. But we made sourdough, and I'm going to tell you, it was a process. And if you want your house to smell, I mean, have at it. I mean, because it will stink it up. I promise you that. They call it sourdough for a reason.
Definitely. All of my baking experience comes from watching the Great British Bake Off. So that's literally it. So I can tell you the cardinal rule: never use rose water. Don't use rose water at all. So, and that's all I know. So, and but I don't know. I like this because I was actually looking at, and I have made your pizza dough recipe, and I loved it. I thought it was great, and it made just the right amount. The proving didn't take too long. You were really explicit on how to do everything. And then you've got a great little recipe for sauce as well. And I was really enjoying that because you have it on most of the videos, it seems, like just the basic sauce recipe. And just for the listeners, I'm just going to give it out. It's 1 tin of plum tomatoes, a tablespoon of olive oil, tablespoon of tomato puree, teaspoon of garlic, teaspoon of paprika, which I love that, teaspoon of marjoram, teaspoon of basil, or as you put it, basil, and a teaspoon of oregano, dash of salt, dash of pepper, and 50 milliliters of water, and just mix it up. It's delicious. It's a great little sauce. We had nothing crazy, but I used the dough and I used this, and we made fried dough, which is one of my kids' favorite things. So we did that, and we actually dipped it in the sauce. So I thought it was excellent. So just because I had to try it out, because I got the book, and I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do? And the kids didn't want pizza because they're crazy, but we every once in a while we like fried dough, so that was good. But I love the sauce. I thought it was great. It's got like a nice little kick to it, and it's not too much, so it's good for everyone.
Yeah, it's an easy dough recipe. I mean, obviously you can get dough recipes where you can leave them in the proof for days, whereas I ain't got that sort of time most of the time. It's like if the wife says to me, "Oh, we've got so and so coming round tonight. You're going to do some pizzas." I ain't got like 5 days or whatever to prove some dough. So it's like my dough recipe. I work on one that I can use within a few hours, really. So it's a pretty basic one, but I find it works. It's easy to handle. It's a good dough, I think. So I'm pretty
good. It's like not too sticky, but like sticky enough. So it's I liked it, and I'm not a seasoned baker. I'm a good cook, decent chef, but
neither am I.
I don't bake well. It's just not my thing. So I don't know about that.
It's an absolute science.
I wanted to ask, where on earth do you find yak cheese? Because that was one of them that you have here. I don't even know. How do you?
Have you seen the episodes with the yak cheese? I'm guessing not. If you're asking this question,
no, I'm not.
Right, so the only place I could find yak cheese was if you Google yak cheese in the UK. I mean, it'd probably be the same in America. You get a thing come up called a yakka chew, which is a dog chew made out of yak cheese.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the ingredients, they literally say cheese, milk, and lemon juice. So I ordered one of those off Amazon and literally grated this yak chew cheese dog chew onto the pizza.
Wow. Okay.
So it was actually it's basically dog food that we use.
Okay. All right.
I got weird. I just looked it up right now, and I'm like, okay.
It's very weird stuff as well. It's really solid. It's like when you grate it, it comes off like a parmesan. But then if you put it in the microwave and give it like about a minute in the microwave, it's like you can put the tiniest piece in and it blows up like a giant piece of popcorn.
Oh, no kidding.
So then it's even easier to grate because it's just like flaking off really easy. But yeah, it didn't particularly taste of anything, I don't think. It just was there sort of thing because we had to have it there. But I tried really hard to find yak cheese, but I couldn't. That's the closest I could get.
Must have a really high fat content then if it's doing something like that.
I would have assumed so. I mean, I've got no idea what was in this because it didn't tell you any details on it. It's a dog chew.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't the lemon juice. So
you couldn't taste the lemon juice.
Oh man, that's great. So
see, another one that was really hard to find as well was from one of the Leatherhead episodes where they had it was a minced gator and Swiss cheese, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I could not find minced gator in the UK. I could find crocodile meat, but I could not find alligator meat. So I ended up substituting the alligator meat with crocodile meat on that one as well. So there was a few episodes where I really struggled to find the ingredients, so we had to sub them out here and there. But for the most part, I tried to get as close as I could to it.
So that's probably a bigger thing here. I know there's specialty places around me because I'm in Illinois, right, just shy of Chicago, and I'm sure we can get some Creole food and get alligator or snake or things like that, frog. That stuff's available here. I don't think we can get crocodile meat though, so that would be interesting. We don't really have them.
Turkey.
It tastes like turkey, really.
If you've had minced like ground turkey, that's literally what it tastes. It just tastes like ground turkey. We all agreed that's literally all it tasted like. It was like eating a ground up turkey burger or something. It wasn't displeasant or anything. It was quite nice, to be honest. I actually quite enjoyed the crocodile one. But yeah, I don't know how different alligator and crocodile taste.
I can't imagine it's groundbreakingly different.
That's what I thought.
I've had gator myself, so
yeah, it's all right. Well, you've been all over the world and probably eaten all kinds of stuff too. So yeah,
yeah, I've had some few things here and there.
It's gonna be interesting to see if you guys come up with some new pizzas of your own and just like what you would use. I know that in the UK there's a lot of different ingredients that we wouldn't normally have over here that people would probably put on their pizza. What would you say is probably like one of the popular ingredients that people put on like just a normal pizza over there?
Over here, do you have doner kebab meat in America?
Not really, kind of.
See, that's like if it's like a local, if you like, I mean, most of the pizza places around here are the sort of place you go to after a night out and you roll in when you're a bit half cut and you ask for a pizza or whatever. And like one of the most popular sort of pizzas in the UK is probably like getting like doner meat on a pizza, which I don't think they do in a lot of countries, like you say. But
yeah, no, I agree with that because we do have the kebab places here, but I've never seen that available on a pizza. And yeah, I imagine if it's sliced thin, it's probably great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I usually always get from barbecue sauce. Doner meat on barbecue sauce is usually pretty nice pizza. It's actually I'm working on a new cookbook, which isn't obviously pizza based, it's just a cookbook in general to go alongside with the other stuff I'm trying to do on the channel in the future, and that has got like doner meat recipes and stuff like that in it, as well as a doner meat pizza. So something to look out for eventually one day.
I like that. What kind of direction do you want to go in for? Like just like I don't know, like classic recipes for entertaining, or do you want to do like recipes for like 30 minutes or less? Like what's the theme of your cookbook?
It's got a bit of everything in it, to be honest. It's got fast food in it. It's got regular sort of like you say, food for like if you've got guests and stuff around, just like easy nibbly food. It's got some like pretty long-winded recipes in it, which you're looking at. They're going to take like a long time to cook. It's not really got a particular theme to it. It's just like recipes I cook at home that I've like played around with for about 10 years. It's just sort of like stuff that I've been jotting down as I've been doing it. And someone just said, right, you've done this book, why don't you do a normal book that people might actually want to eat? So that's just a direction. I mean, I want to get some more regular food on the channels, but the thing was with the YouTube channel was the potatoes pizzas, they got quite popular in terms of views, whereas like I'd spend like about 5 or 6 hours making a regular food video and I'd look at it and get like 50 views. I'd be like,
yeah,
it's not worth the hassle at the minute. So we just stuck with the turtles pieces. But I do want to eventually try and go back in a bit of that direction and get some normal food. At the minute I'm having a go at just like trying to do short videos, because a few people said to me, well, people haven't got a very big attention span, so just put your recipe into a minute-long video and see if that works. So that's the sort of direction I'm trying at the minute on the channel. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, what about, I know this sounds crazy and everything, but TikTok videos have become very, very popular with like recipes and stuff. Maybe, just slapping something on there and then just being like, bam, have the list of ingredients that you use, you know what I'm saying, on there. I mean, that's another way that you can get your name out there too as well.
I never would have thought of that.
I've literally just in the last about 6 weeks, I've done like short episodes, it's like minute-long episodes of every single one of the turtle pizzas now on TikTok. Okay. All 67 are on there now, and each one's about 60 seconds long. And then I've also started adding while I'm doing recipes for the new book, because I've got to take photos and stuff of everything, so I've got to recook it all. I will try and film like a little 60-second sort of video to get the recipes onto TikTok as well while I'm doing that. So that is actually the direction I'm trying to go in as well at the minute, and then I'll put them onto YouTube as shorts too.
That's great. Instagram, all that stuff. Like, I mean, I figure you're all over on that stuff too. I mean, because it's like I said, I see so many, like, we'll scroll through and I'll see some stuff, YouTube shorts or videos on Facebook, and then, I'll see recipes on there all the time. You're like, oh, that sounds interesting, catch people's eyes,
Yeah.
Eric's a big what were you cooking the other day? Was that ribs or was that brisket?
I did I did ribs the other day, but I also did a bacon explosion. I smoked a bacon explosion, which I use sausage, chorizo as the meat, and then I did a 6x6 thick piece bacon weave, as well as I put pepperoni, barbecue sauce, cheese in the middle of it, and more bacon bits in it, and smoked it for probably about 5 to 6 hours.
Wow.
I bet
it was delicious
afterwards, huh?
Oh yeah. Like, you just take it. And the only thing I needed to do was make some beer cheese is what I needed to do. I needed to get some Pabst Blue Ribbon beer and some good cheese, and it really set it off. Really set it off.
Well, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I saw the picture and I'm like, oh man, that sounds really good.
It was good. It was definitely good.
I've never got into smoking. My brother's actually just bought, one of, I think they're called an egg.
Oh, the big green egg.
I think you can do smoking in one of those, and he's just got one of those. So I'm looking forward to going and trying that out at some point. But I've never got into the whole smoking thing, because it's not really a big thing over here, to be honest. Not like it is over there.
Well, I mean, we got it here, I think, because of like the European influence from places like Sweden and those, like, that's where it kind of came from originally for us, like Germany and all that. They were smoking a lot of stuff for preservation, and now it's just become kind of like a cultural thing with like the briskets and the barbecue ribs and things like that, and now like everybody and the brother over here has a smoker. So it's probably like in the late 70s, early 80s, like when everybody got their first microwave. It's probably like that now, because it's just this explosion where it's that new thing to have. So,
yeah, I got 2 smokers.
Do you? Yes, too. I got just the one. I mean, my favorite thing to smoke actually is fish. So, and I know you mentioned Kirk, you don't like it on the pizza, but like a smoked trout or something like that, to me is like that's the top. And salmon and all that, and I know you had lox on one of these.
Oh, that was pretty amazing, to be honest. Lox and cream cheese was. Obviously, we had to let the pizza cool down so the cream cheese didn't just completely melt. But that was up there as one of the best ones that we did on the whole series of ones that actually tasted nice.
That seems like it would be good for like an appetizer or something like that for a party.
Yeah, it was. You could like I said, you could cut it into smaller pieces and then like have it as an appetizer. It was really good. I mean, it was really good.
Would you eat that, Eric?
I'd give it a try.
You give it a try. Eric and I go back and forth because he doesn't like putting pineapple on pizza. So,
well, I'll tell you what he won't like then, probably. See, something that we found really worked well with a pepperoni pizza was vanilla ice cream.
No, I mean, I definitely tried.
We tried from the the 50-foot Irma episode. There's at the end of the episode, Michelangelo comes out and having a big pizza party, and I think there's about like he reels off about 4 or 5 different ice cream pizzas in that episode just at the end. And we tried all of those, and we found most of it didn't work, but ice cream for some reason really worked well with pepperoni. It was bizarre, but it's like the other ones weren't great, but with pepperoni ice cream seemed to go really well.
Man, yeah. I mean, I was looking at the pepperoni and pickles because I am a pickle guy, but vanilla ice cream, I am in.
I think there was actually a pickles and ice cream one as well. Yeah, there was. Pickle and ice cream was one as well.
I remember that being in the comics, but I guess the original comics kind of came. They had the same script as the cartoon, so that makes sense. So, yeah, it's interesting too because if you watch any of like the documentaries and stuff like that, they used to just kind of like, oh yeah, we just did this as a joke to try to see if we could gross each other out and do like the grossest possible combinations.
They never realized some idiot was going to go around and met them all eventually, did they?
With liquor and bubblegum, man. You know,
who comes up with this stuff? Come on now.
That's what I thought when I was doing it. It's like,
well, let's give it a shot.
I was just, oh my god, someone's actually putting licorice on a pizza. I'm like,
well, licorice wasn't. It sort of like all burnt and just went all instead of chewy, it was just like really crispy and hard and. Wasn't, and it was a lot. I think it was granola as well that went with the licorice. So it's like you just had crunchy on top of crunchy, and it's all sticking to your teeth. It wasn't great.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny because there's clearly some that I'll never make. Like I won't do the one with the clams, and as much as I like clams and like peanut butter, I find that they're probably best left separate. And the smell from your description, I feel like. Experience learned, so I'll just glean that from you. But I mean,
yeah, I'll go with that one.
Pepperoni and hot fudge, you never know. You know, like there's some interesting things.
I thought that was okay. Pepperoni seems to work quite well alongside sweet stuff, to be honest. So that was something we did discover along it, is that pepperoni seems to work really well with like the saltiness of the pepperoni alongside a sweet thing, like whatever topping it was. It seemed to work quite well.
Which is what I was telling Eric about how I like pepperoni with pineapple. You know, it's one of those things.
I've never had a pepperoni and pineapple pizza.
It's
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And especially if you have fresh pineapple, I find it's better rather than get if you would call them a tin, but we just call them cans. If you get like a tin of pineapple and you get the little tidbits and put it on there, it's not as like vibrant a flavor.
No.
But if you get like a regular like Del Monte Gold and then you cut it and put it up on there, man, that's great eating. Especially if you do it outside in that oven outside, like that would be the great way to get like that actual like wood burn flavor. That would be delicious.
They do taste a lot better when you're doing that, but it's a bit of a process to like mastering it, which I've only had it a year, that oven, and I still haven't quite. I'll do like 10 pizzas on it, and 5 of them will come out with a bit of a black base, and 5 of them will be perfect. So it's a bit of the first 5 are always it's a bit of a process to work out how to use it for me at the minute still.
Do you go back and forth, or have you tried cornmeal on the bottom instead of flour?
I've tried all sorts. I've tried cornmeal. I've tried flour. I've tried what was the other
semolina?
Salmon. Is it? No, not salmon. Not salmon.
Semolina.
No, I've not.
That's like a thicker flour, right? Like a
It's well. Are you talking about in the dough, or are you talking about like underneath the crust?
Underneath, just for like.
Okay, yeah. See, whenever I was, I worked at this place down in Pittsburgh. It was Wing Heart's. It was Wing Heart's Burger and Whiskey Bar, and we had a wood burning oven. That's where we cooked our pizzas in. So the pizzas would be in there. It'd be like 800 degrees in there, and it'll cook a pizza off in like 3 to 4 minutes. And we were just like constantly rotating and all that. And is what we did for our crust is we had semolina underneath the crust.
Yeah.
So that way it just slide. It was a lot easier to slide off, and
it's
also gave it some
like that texture here too. Like different parts of the country here will use like different things, and you'll see like this is a Neapolitan, or this one has the cornmeal, or anything else like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I know that some people that will sometimes we'll mix like some of like the cornmeal or the semolina with with Parmesan cheese, like grated Parmesan cheese, you know what I'm saying? Or like, and they'll have that and, kind of build a little, caramelization underneath the crust.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
I've
interesting.
never tried that. I think once I work out how to get to stop sticking to the base as much with a wood burning oven, then I can move on.
It is a absolute process. I mean, one of the biggest things is getting your coals. I mean, you got to get it hot.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing is getting it hot, getting it going, getting that fire going, and getting all those coals in there. And every once in a while, just throw a little log in there, And
first time I used it, I cooked my first ever pizza on it. I cooked it in 60 seconds and it came out perfect, which was clearly just beginner's luck because then I've never managed to do one that well ever again.
That's the whole thing. Whenever you're cooking in a wood oven, like, I mean, you gotta be on it, rotating, because the heat distributes it. It's kind of weird in there because I used to be able to get like 3 to 4 pizzas in my little oven. I mean, we were like a little small place, and it was like an open kitchen restaurant, and we could sit maybe like 20 people in there. That was the most. But we had a line out the door. There was plenty of seating out there, so people, I get like 4, 5, 6, 7 pizza orders at one time, along with a bunch of burger orders. So I'm trying to rock them all out, and they'll be out in like 3 to 4 minutes, if that. So I mean, it's just you got to pay attention to them and rotating them. Just move them around a little bit. One's getting a little bit more crispy on the side. Okay, move it to the side. So,
God, this
my oven it's like a small portable one, so it's not big. You can fit like about a 10-inch, 12-inch pizza in it, sort of thing at a time. But we're going camping next weekend, and I'm taking it with us. So we'll see how it goes next week. That'll be the first time I've used it in a little while, so we'll see how that goes.
That's good. You can make camp pizza. That would be delicious, right?
Deep dish cast iron.
Yeah. Like maybe some shredded potatoes or something on it. That might be decent. Like
it's quite surprising actually what you can do when you got a little wood burning portable oven. You can like the amount of stuff you can cook in it. When I've looked like online and stuff, and I've tried doing it myself, there's so much different bits you can cook in it. It's like having a little barbecue, I suppose. Really, were you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's, man. I'm so hungry now after like even talking about pig's liver and bubblegum pizza, and I'm still hungry. So it's just crazy. We've talked about like the worst ones and all that. If you're making just a regular pizza for yourself or for your friends and all that, what's your go-to favorite ingredients on pizza?
At the minute, it's probably a white pie, which is when you don't have you don't have any tomato on the base. I usually put like a ricotta on the base, and then just top it with a bunch of different grated cheeses, as many as I can get my hands on. Really, a bit of like feta cheese and stuff like that on the top, a bit of halloumi and stuff like that, and it's just an incredibly cheesy pizza. But I love something like that. I mean, that's like usually one of the most popular ones that I make it at the minute. Like if we've got people around and stuff, that usually goes down quite well. It's probably my favorite one to make myself at the minute. Yeah,
that sounds good. Now, do you put like basil on top or pepper or like any sort of seasonings? Or
I usually maybe drizzle it with a bit of garlic butter towards like before I put it in. Just once we've got all the cheese on, I'll drizzle it with a bit of garlic butter. But that's usually about it, to be honest. I just like the cheese with the cheese flavor on it and a little hint of garlic in the background. That's just a big greasy cheesy pizza.
That sounds great. It sounds like cheesy bread out here. We've got well, not actually. It doesn't sound as like cheesy bread out here is like Domino's and all that. It's not really great, but it like the concept sounds like.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question about your history with pizza. So you're a kid back in the day. You're watching Ninja Turtles, playing with your action figures, and you find out it's pizza night. Where are your folks going to get pizza from? Is it from a chain? Is it from like a local restaurant? Where would they make it?
I don't think I got pizza a lot when I was younger, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe that's why I've done this. I mean, as soon as I moved out, like when I went to live on my own with my wife, well, my girlfriend at the time, but it was we'd get like takeout and get pizzas like near enough every week. And it's never something I really used to do when I was younger. It's like, and usually if we did have pizza, it would be just a frozen pizza that you stick in the oven. To be honest, it's like we didn't really get takeout and stuff a lot when I was growing up. So it's just like whatever you find in the freezer, sort of pizza wise. To be honest,
like did you have Elios pizza where they were like a little brick and you could eat those? And
no, I don't think so. No.
So really, like your pizza renaissance is when you got a little bit older. So you didn't really have that like little kid experience as like being Michelangelo eating the pizza, huh?
Not really. No, it's like, I mean, like I say, we'd occasionally would have like a frozen pizza which you just chuck in the oven for 20 minutes and it's done, sort of thing. But then you'd be watching the Turtles, it'd be like Michelangelo's putting marshmallow on a pizza. I'm like, I wonder what that tastes like. But
yeah,
my mum not gonna let me put marshmallow on my pizza, so. I suppose this was a bit of the curious child coming out in me as well when we did this at the fair.
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, you're playing the video games maybe, and you see every time they get the pizza, they regenerate their health and all that, and you're like, oh, this stuff must be great, you know. And then maybe it kind of falls
good for me. It's good for me, right? It's good. I mean, it gives you health. It fills your stamina bar. You're all good.
That's it.
If you ask most people out here, like where I am, what your favorite food is, I feel like 8 out of 10 are going to say pizza. You know, that's just the thing. And I'm in Chicagoland, so you know they're deep dish pizza and all that. It's not that great. So I may offend some people in saying that it's okay. It's not that great. So like there's better pizza out there, and I mean we have Detroit style, we have New York style. I say Connecticut style where I'm originally from because we had great pizza. But it's different wherever you go, and you know everybody still has those the same ones that you grew up on. I had one the other day, Red Baron. You know the the one you throw in the oven for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and some are okay, but I mean, no pizza is bad pizza. That's what I'll say. Well, maybe I'll rephrase. Let me rephrase. Maybe there's some pizza.
Unless you're going through that book, then there's quite a lot of bad pizza.
I'm pretty sure you'll find one.
I don't know. Guacamole, marshmallow. Every time I open the book, I get a different 67 different pizzas. This is just it's insane. Scott. And you said you had friends that liked it, like friends that liked to eat.
Yeah. So when for about the initial, probably about 25, when I started doing it was just me on my own for like the first few months. Then I was going to get some friends involved with me to taste them as well, so we could get some other opinions. But then obviously COVID kicked in and we weren't allowed to see each other for like about a year. So we was all stuck in our houses for like nearly a year. So we didn't do any of that. And then eventually by about episode 35 or something, maybe they start coming into it. And then it's never me on my own eating them after that. It's always usually like another 2 or 3 people alongside me trying them as well. But the 3 guys who mainly tried it with me, their favourite one out of the whole series, they really like the banana and sausage, whereas I really don't like banana on pizza. I don't know what it is. It's just the texture or whatever about it. It's all warm and mushy on a pizza. To me, it was disgusting. But they all said it was probably their favourite one out of the whole series, like banana and sausage.
Wow. I keep going back to this, but Eric, would you eat that?
Banana and sausage? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? You know would be really good with it. This is what I would do. This is just me. I would probably put peanut butter and the tomato sauce mixture together, then throw it down with some banana and sausage. Because if you think about peanut butter and banana, me personally, that goes well. That would go well with it. And then having the pepperoni, to me, I think that would. But I would put the bananas on after it got cooked.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't have been as bad then, because it's the way that the banana cooks and how mushy it goes that I didn't like. That's one of the ones when you were talking earlier about am I going to do later episodes. That's one of the ones they want to revisit, and they wanted to turn it into a sort of like a bit of a breakfast pizza and like drizzle some like
bacon,
some syrup, and put some like chopped crispy bacon and stuff like that on it as well.
Bacon.
That's such a great idea for an episode too. Like take something that's like, here's the concept and it's gross. How can we make it better? And then you turn it into something that's completely different. I would watch the hell out of that. I love that idea.
That's the direction we're most likely going in anyway. So it's like as alongside every now and again there'll be, like I say, I've not got a lot of content from like the comics and stuff. I've got what I've managed to scrape together, but there's not a great deal of it. So it's going to be remakes of the old ones thrown in with the occasional new one from, like, say, the movies or the 2012 series or comics or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's a great idea. Is kind of revamping the idea of like, well, this is what they had in this episode, but let's try this combo out. You know, it's something like this, somewhere similar, but you know, revamping it. I mean, you're still involving the turtles, but you're kind of making it like an original pizza for yourself too. So, I mean, I think that is a great idea, and I'd be interested. I'd definitely be interested.
Yeah, even if you make things that aren't even in canon and you just make them, we'd be like, you know what? I thought peanut butter worked, and this was cool, so we're just going to make our own turtles pizza. That would be cool too.
Yeah,
that would be really fun. Any plans to do Star Wars themed foods at all? Maybe down the road?
I don't know I wouldn't know what there was to do. I mean, I'm a massive Star Wars fan, as you can probably tell, but in terms of Star Wars food, I don't really know where to go.
They have some interesting ones, and I think the restaurant was called like the Black Spire or something like that down in Disney at I still call it MGM. I know it's Hollywood Studios, but they have like that whole Star Wars area set up, and they have like some fairly decent food there. You can get blue milk, which definitely has rum in it. It definitely has rum in it, let me tell you. So, but you can get a lot of the food that they're like, oh yeah, this is what it would be like if you were on Tatooine, and you know a droid is cooking this over like a pod racing engine. You're like, oh, okay, let me try this. Like, oh, that's not bad. You never know, like something else that would be themed that way. Because I mean, like folks who are going to be listening to this, they can't see the video, but I mean, he has a fairly huge collection behind him of the Star Wars helmets, and I mean, it's like Darth Vader. You know, there's like the Imperial Guard. Like, there's some diverse stuff on there. It looks like. So, and Mando, I love Mando.
Got to have Mando, isn't you? You can't not have Mando.
He's the best. Yeah, but that's that was just my thought. Eric, do you have any other pizza-based questions for Kirk?
I don't know. I mean, one thing keeps pondering in my brain is peanut butter and jelly. Keep talking about peanut butter. I mean, yeah, I mean, I be honest with you, I grew up on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I think that'd be, I mean, I don't know what kind of jelly that you guys, or jam that you want to put on there.
Lemon curd, maybe marmalade.
So
whatever.
I've done it twice in the book. There's one that's tuna, peanut butter, and grape jelly. And then there's one that's just peanut butter and jelly. So the peanut butter and jelly one, I just used strawberry jelly or jam, as we call it. And I did it 3 ways. I did a tomato base. I did it like split it into three thirds. And I did a tomato base one topped with peanut butter and blobs of peanut butter and blobs of jam. One with a jelly base, then obviously the cheese, and then topped with big blobs of peanut butter. Then one with the peanut butter base topped with blobs of jelly. And the peanut butter base one was, again, it was really nice. Like, with the blobs of jelly on top of it, it was really good. It works. Again, it's another one of those that works. And I'm saying one of my go-to foods when I'm like in a rush in the house is I'll just grab a peanut butter and jam sandwich.
Yeah, throw some bacon on it.
Well, I mean, you could do that.
Peanut butter and jelly with some bacon. Yeah,
I've never had that. I mean, crispy bacon.
Yeah,
that's
like,
where I'd go.
Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I wouldn't mind like doing it like almost like a grilled cheese style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have my sandwiches and all
I'll
that
often do like a grilled cheese style, just PB&J, but I've never tried it with bacon. I'll have to try that.
I've never even thought of
try
it.
Try it with bacon. Try it with bacon. It definitely different. I mean, obviously you still got the saltiness from both worlds, but I mean, it's actually pretty good. I like bacon. I've had chocolate covered bacon. I've made chocolate covered bacon myself too. Me and my wife, I'm not gonna lie, I got a belly, so it's kind of it's kind of a staple here. So
I'm trying to work on mine at the minute.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were on a break from eating the pizzas, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on a bacon, rage for it. So I mean, like I said, I love bacon. We love bacon here. I mean, I make bacon gravy. I don't make the Southern country, sausage gravy. I make bacon gravy. My wife loves my bacon gravy, and that's just, I love bacon.
You're talking about sawmill gravy, the white kind of gravy. But
yeah, I mean, it's country gravy, yeah, but I don't make like the Southern sausage and gravy, because I know sometimes they'll put like chili flakes in theirs and be spicy, but mine is it's bacon bacon gravy. Like, I do, equal parts flour and fat, and then I'll do, and then as I'm going through, reducing it down, I'll add bacon grease to the gravy, just to give it that bacon flavor, and then season as I go. But
that sounds delicious.
That. I've never had bacon gravy. I'm gonna have to try that now.
Oh yeah.
One of my things at the minute is a PB&J burger with crispy bits of bacon on it.
See, I've been wanting to try that. I've seen it. I've had a bacon cheeseburger with donuts, glazed donuts. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't
not great.
To me, it wasn't that great.
It's like a McDonald's bun, with all the sugar that's in that. That's the same.
I don't eat McDonald's. That's one thing I don't eat McDonald's. I haven't ate McDonald's in a long time. But when it came, because I tried it, because actually, to be honest with you, we're having a food truck. There's a food truck competition like right down the street for me that's happening this weekend, and that's where I actually had the bacon cheeseburger, glazed donut.
They would go nuts for his pizzas on the food truck.
Oh my god! Like, hey, man, over here,
we'll pizza he's talking about
together and stuff, like, because I got so many ideas when it comes to cooking food, and especially you can do your pizzas. And I've seen people. There's actually food trucks down here that actually do pizzas too, that have the oven, like the little ovens, and you just see it be like bam, bam. So, but I want to see if they have that peanut butter and jelly bacon cheeseburger.
I've had
good.
It's like
really good.
I had a caramelized banana on top of peanut butter on top of a burger, and that was really good.
It's so weird how all this stuff. I mean, you would not think that this. You could probably do a Bananas Foster's bacon cheeseburger, and it'd probably turn out to be super delicious.
Would you light it on fire?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I would. Okay, cool.
I mean.
Maybe some meringue on top and just light that on fire, then kick it off. just for the plating. Yeah. So, Kirk, do you think we're going to see you on any food competitions or anything else like that? Maybe with your pizzas?
Oh, I doubt it. I actually really considered going for Bake Off this year, because I do dabble in a bit of baking in my spare time. I don't really do it on the channel and stuff, but I do a lot of cake baking and bread baking and stuff like that. But I looked at the application process, and it was like, you need so many photos and stuff. So I just thought, I'm just going to leave it. But yeah. I downloaded the application and I looked at it, but then I decided not to. But that's probably about as far as I'll ever go with anything like that.
Oh, they would love you on that show. It would be so great. So, and the thing that I really like about this too is like the first time I heard your voice, I was like, oh, this is great. You've got like a really good sort of charisma about you. And you look a little bit like Butcher from The Boys. Have you Carl Urban?
I know what you mean. I've watched the first season of The Boys, and I've never watched any more of it. But
it gets intense, so it's not for everybody. But
my wife keeps telling me we need to watch it again. It's one of those shows that we keep meaning to get back into, but then there's always something else comes out, and then we never get round to it. But we're going to watch The Boys again eventually.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I know Cal Urban. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Are you excited for any new Ninja Turtle stuff coming out? Are you keeping up with what's going on?
I'm looking forward to see what Seth Rogen does with it. I mean, I don't think anyone knows what direction he's going with it. I didn't particularly enjoy the new cartoon or the Netflix movie. I wasn't a big fan of any of that, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to the new Seth Rogen one. I think that's about all of his coming out at the minute, in the really TV wise and movie wise. Obviously, his comics are always coming out, but so I'm looking forward to see what direction he takes it in.
We got some interesting ideas, and I mean, he did The Boys and he did Invincible. At least his production company did. So, maybe we can look forward to it and see what's coming out. I'm going to give it a shot. I think any Turtles is good. It's just, I like you. Like Rise was not my favorite. I did like the movie, but I don't like the characters. I think the characters are a little bit off, but like I thought the movie was cool. Like it looks nice,
Yeah.
It did play out a lot like the Avengers, though. So I was like, oh, this is a lot like the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot. So, but, it's all right. And what about the Last Ronin? And maybe a Last Ronin themed pizza. It's all burnt up and 10 years old.
Oh, no! Oh my God!
It's a pizza best served cold.
I was quite surprised, to be honest, by the Last Ronin. I mean, I can't imagine many people was expecting it to be Mikey from the start, was there? I mean,
yeah, it's
the last one you'd think it would have been, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was the first one drawn too, so
I enjoyed the Last Ronin. I did enjoy the Last Ronin. I mean, I would like to see a more mature direction if someone would be willing to take it in that direction. I mean, a lot of the people who grew up on the Turtles now are like ourselves, so we're adults now. So it would be nice to see like an adult, like even just a movie, like something like similar to the Last Ronin. I think that would be a really cool concept to go with. But
yeah, take the teenage aspect out of it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we just had Magnus on. Yep. Now I don't know if you've seen the it was like a little scene from the Last Ronin, the comic, whatever, but he made it in a CGI form. I can't say his. Did you see it?
I haven't watched it, but I saw it on. I saw you guys. I was looking through your website earlier on, and I saw that you'd mentioned it. And as soon as I saw that, I thought I'm going to have to check that out later on or whatever. So I do intend on watching it soon.
2 million views.
Wow, 2 million. It's only 3 minutes long too, so that's actually very impressive. So 2 million, wow. I mean, we started out when it had what, 7 views. It's like,
yeah,
wow. It's crazy. It's it's a renaissance right now for the Turtles, where it's like everything that was popular about them, like video games and NECA action figures and t-shirts, everything. It's so popular right now. It's cool to be part of that. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you so much, because you feel like the whole pizza aspect of it. And I've never seen anybody else make all 67 of them. And people talk about it, and they're like, "Oh, here's a list," or "Here's a list on this social media," or something like that. But you did it, and you actually tasted every one of these things.
The thing was with the list as well was the list didn't exist. I had to go. I found a website that you could download the subtitles files from for every single episode from the 87 series, all 10 seasons. And I'd literally searched every single episode for like words like pizza, slice, and stuff like that, and had to like go through every single episode and then jot down when I found a pizza sort of thing. But there's probably more than 67. I'm not going to lie, I probably missed a few. But as far as I'm aware, after season 7, season 8, 9, and 10, pizza's never mentioned once.
That does not shock me. Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean, I don't think that most people's favorite episodes were like 9 and 10 anyway. I think that was when it was like the Red Sky season. And I mean, it's still okay, but it's not like they were just trying to go in a different direction, and it was like, oh, let's copy the movies. So
I don't remember even watching them. I think I'd stopped watching it by that point. I mean, I remember like so when I've gone back and watched it all a few times now in my adulthood, but I think like up to about season 3 or 4 is like around probably the time when I'd sort of like stopped watching it on TV. But then on TV in England, it would literally just show the same episodes over and over again most of the time. So
it's like what they did here with Ren and Stimpy. We just watch the same episode every week. Like, all right, whatever. We don't care,
We had a thing in England, which is basically what I used to rewatch all the time on the VHS, was there was a tape of, was it the first season, which had the little alien who crashed, and then they had the crystals and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was when they
that
had the
first season was edited into like a little movie on the VHS, and it was called How It All Began. And I can remember what the VHS looked like. It was all blue, and it had like the picture of them stood on a motorbike thing, and it was all stacked up on top of it. And it said it was called How It All Began, and that was like what I used to watch like religiously on. I'd watch it, rewind it, watch it again, sort of thing. And that was like just the first season. But it's the way I've never been able to find it on YouTube or anything, like How It All Began edit of it, which is it was sort of edited into like an hour-long movie, like all the original, like the first episodes.
I think what I have. I know Eric has a couple. I've got this one, which is the Sky Turtles, and this one was from like Burger King. You could get it in with your meal or something like that. Yeah. This one just has Invasion of the Turtle Snatchers, April Foolish, The Great Goldini, and Sky Turtles. So it's got 4 episodes, which I mean is great. I don't think that we had that same one. I don't know, Eric. Did you run into that?
Which one is it again?
He said how it all began.
Yeah, it was like an edit.
That's great.
I don't think I have that one because I have like the other ones. I have the kids club, but I also have like the other one, like the case of the killer pizzas, invasion of the sewer snatchers.
And by the way, that recipe is in this book too. Case of the killer pizzas. Oh yeah, there you go.
That was the VHS cover. Like I say,
okay. Hang on, I gotta go check.
But that was what it. And like I say, it was like an edit of the first season, and that's like what I used to watch that religiously. It was like that was. If it wasn't on TV,
Steve Levine artwork too.
Put that VHS on, sort of thing.
It looks familiar. I don't know if I have.
But if you look, I don't know if you can see. Look, it has actually. It
says Hero.
Hero, yeah. So
that's
fantastic. It was just a UK thing.
I wonder, Eric, if you talk to our friend Rich and see if he has that, because he's got the biggest turtle collection that I'm aware of. So
Michelle might have him beat,
or Michelle, yeah. So a couple of our friends are super collectors, and maybe they have that, because anything that's Hero Turtle is harder to come by for us. Like there's not as much of it around. So
I mean, like this right here, like I have this.
Oh, the SNES game.
Yeah, it looks like it, and that's
I've never even
seen that one. What's it, Mutant Warriors?
Yeah.
Wow.
That one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Warriors, and it's this.
Oh, so it's Tournament Fighters.
Oh, okay.
Is that a Super Famicom game?
Yep.
No wonder, because
I have the Super Nintendo and the Super Famicom. I got about 28 video games.
Wow.
Like of the Turtles. Like Justin knows how much stuff. I am a big collector, like a huge collector. And
I'm just trying to get rid of most of it. It's like, I'm just trying to find a home for it.
When you was on about the Star Wars helmets in the background, I have actually literally just today made the decision to move them on. Decided to start stuff. The wife just moans that all it does is collect dust, and she'd like because this is actually our living room. This is like this is our dining room. I'm sat at the table now, so she'd like a normal looking house, which we haven't had in like the 20 years we've been together. So I said I'll start moving some stuff on, and she can put some normal stuff on the walls for a while. So
you're like,
I'm in the same boat. I'm starting to move some stuff on at the minute.
We're keeping the life size ET.
Yeah, the life size ET. Well, that's the wife, so I'm not allowed to sell that. Okay. She's the ET fan. Just my stuff that's got to go.
Yeah, I'm aware of how marriage works. That's good.
My wife feeds my addiction. I don't know if you can see that, like that one right there.
The shelves
over here. The shelves over there. All the way up top. I probably got about 200 to 300 different figures sitting up there.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's just those couple shelves up there because I got them all the way back and all this other stuff. I mean, I have a lot of stuff, and it's under construction because I'm waiting to get more shelves done. So pizza shape shelves.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow, that would be that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to go it's going to be like layered. It's going to have like the L, and then we're going to have pizza shape. It's going to be like it's like every other one's going to be a pizza shelf.
Yeah,
like a slice of pizza.
That's really cool. Kirk, I wanted to ask, where do you want folks to find you online? Like, where's the best place for people to either follow your page, and it looks like you have a cool shirt on. Is there merch available?
It's not really available. It's just stuff that I printed off just for like me and my friends to wear when we was filming. I ain't really got a merch. I mean, you can buy the book on Amazon. That's on Amazon, but otherwise, it's just the YouTube channel, Kirk Kooks. Really, I mean, that's mostly where most of my content is. If you go on TikTok, search Kirk Kooks, you'll find me on TikTok as well. I mean, that's where I do most of my posting is on YouTube and TikTok at the minute. Other than that, there's not really anywhere else other than finding the book on Amazon.
Perfect. I I will put links to all that, and I'm hoping that we can get some people watching this because I had a blast just watching these videos. So I have to go back now and watch that one with the yak cheese because I wish I had seen that prior.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I did watch the oatmeal and cheese.
Yeah,
The first thing that's popping in my head, I'm like, man, he needs maple and brown sugar one.
Oh, that's just so bland.
Yeah. He needs the maple and brown sugar oatmeal.
Yeah.
That's why.
I have actually I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I finished editing and I've done, because obviously I've done the TikTok edits in 60 seconds. There is now a full compilation on YouTube, which is just over an hour long, and it's all 67 episodes. So if someone just wants to just stick it on and not have to find them all, and I mean, some of the episodes are originally like 5 to 10 minutes long. If you don't want to sit there and listen to me talking about the pizza and everything for the whole time, it's a really easy way to watch it. Just put the compilation on and you can catch all of them and just sit through them all, really, if you've got an hour to spare.
It's funny. I'm one of those guys where I don't like greatest hits albums, so I didn't do that. So I just wanted to watch the individual ones. So,
well, there's a playlist on YouTube as well, so you can sit and watch them all through the playlist. But I imagine that'll probably take several hours because some of them are quite long.
Well, a lot of us are working from home, so I was sitting there and doing that today. So, doing my job and just watching about like oatmeal pizza and such. Yeah, it was good times.
The oatmeal pizza that got me. He was like, that has no taste.
There was later on in one of the ones we did towards the end was a deep dish oatmeal pizza with grapefruit on top, and that was absolutely disgusting. It had even more oatmeal in it than the last one, so it was just like deep dish and just filled with oatmeal, and it was just it was not good.
Did that have cheese on it?
It had cheese and tomato on it. Yeah, okay. I literally made it sort of like that was the first time I've ever made a deep dish pizza, so I wasn't entirely sure what I was doing because I've never made one before, but it was horrible anyway. None of us liked it.
Most deep dishes basically it's just a bunch of sauce inside of dough with crap on it or crap inside it. So it's kind of like what is this? Is this soup or is this pizza?
This was basically a dough filled with oatmeal. With a little bit of tomato and a little bit of cheese on top of it and a bit of grapefruit.
Oh man, grapefruit.
It wasn't great.
I thought pineapple was bad, but grapefruit?
Grapefruit, I love grapefruit, but wow.
I'm gonna have to send my link to one of my boys because one of my boys, we go back and forth about the pineapple. He's like, it belongs on pizza. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't. So I have to send him a link to your pizza recipes because I'd be like, here, why don't you try grapefruit on your pizza? See how that goes. Let me know how that goes.
If you recall, we had Francois Child, the shredder from the Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze, and he did say that he does love. He said he loves all kind of pizza, but he says that he loves the pineapple on pizza too. So.
I don't mind it. I'll have it on certain. I mean, I won't want it on every pizza, but I mean, there's certain pizzas I do think it works with, to be honest. But
pepperoni.
In the UK, it's always ham and pineapple. If you order like
it is here too. Yeah.
I've never had. I've got to try it now with pepperoni. You've sold me on it. I've got to give it a go.
Well, you mentioned like being maybe. Going into a place at the end of the night and being a little drunk and all that, like something like that. If you go and they have like, maybe they have some pre-made pizza, you're going to get a slice, right? The origin of this for me is that it was ham and pineapple next to pepperoni, and it was kind of a half and half slice because they cut it awkwardly. Okay. So I was just eating it and I'm like, wait a minute, this is amazing. And that's just kind of where it came from. So, it was never an intentional thing. It was kind of like Kismet, where it's like, oh, why don't people do this? It's delicious. So
I'll have to try it. I'll give it a go. I mean, I can't really, not kind of when I've tried all this sort of stuff. I can't really say I'm not going to try pineapple and pepperoni. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it seems sort of banal after a while, right? You're like, well, I've eaten bubblegum, so,
There's not much I don't think I'd be willing to not try on a pizza now. I mean, one of them had octopus and stuff on it, which was weird.
Which is huge in, like, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's like their number one.
Calamari and all this other stuff, and mayonnaise on their pizza. Yeah.
Mayonnaise, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hellman's.
Yeah, I've had mayonnaise, and to be honest with you, there's actually I've actually seen mayonnaise on, they call them wedgies, Fox's Pizza, and what they'll do is they'll do like the pizza crust, whatever, and then like, okay, I want like a turkey club type deal, and then they won't put sauce down like regular sauce, they'll have mayonnaise down on it, and it'll cook like that, and then they'll put their lettuce and tomato on top of it.
It's like a sandwich
tart. And then it folds over and it's like a sandwich, and they cut it like that. They call that a wedgie.
Okay.
So
see, a lot of places over here, but they it's a really poor one, but they try and advertise it as a calzone when they do that, which is just really not a calzone. But
yeah,
there's so many takeouts in England that will just fold a pizza in half and try and
it's got to be sealed. If it's a calzone or a stromboli, it's got to be sealed either way. So
those are excellent things too. Actually, I haven't had a good stromboli in years.
That's something else I wouldn't mind doing in the future as well, like maybe doing a turtles calzone or stromboli or something.
There you go.
Finding one
strombolis of them. And absolutely.
Turning some of these into, like say, calzone and stromboli, because I think there is some that I think would work in the future. So you just have to keep your eye on the channel and see where we go with it. Hopefully next month.
Oh, I'm excited. And with that, I think that's all that I had. Eric, do you have any other questions before we let Kirk go?
No, I'm just waiting. I'm gonna have to order your book though. Like this is really like talking to you has got me really, really more interesting because Justin is one that has told me about you. We're everywhere, to be honest with you. But I'm definitely interested in getting your book, as well as possibly trying. My son has been dying to try out some recipes, so let's get crazy.
I figured. And at very least, you can get him started making the dough, which, like I said, I made, and it came out great.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, he's been on this whole kick of he's 8 years old and he wants to learn how to cook. And, he's cooking anything from, he's making macaroni and cheese. We made burgers. We made spaghetti yesterday. So, like, he's up there, he's getting popped by grease and stuff, like, dude, it's part of cooking. And he's just like, part of cooking, Daddy. Let's go. So,
what was for dinner tonight then, Eric? What did you guys cook?
It was kind of a free for all because today was kind of a busier day today. He had a dentist appointment, and I had a bunch of stuff going on today because
no granola pizza.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I'm just doing some macaroni and cheese, and that's it. That's it. A box of macaroni and cheese, and that's it. And he's cool with it. My wife, she's going to work. She's picking up food from a restaurant and having stuff for lunch.
Yeah, I think we're doing butter chicken with basmati rice, some chickpeas, and whatever greenery I can find around. That's going to be ours tonight. So I'm actually going to start my sauce after we're done. So
tomorrow's chicken scallopini.
So that is a good one. That's a very good one.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of pizza-like. So depending.
My diet's really boring at the minute because I'm cutting down until I get one day off a week, and that's Saturday when I'm going to do a nice little Indian banquet for us all. But at the minute, it's just like salads and chicken and boring stuff.
You never know. And I mean, it depends. Like if you have the time to prep or if you have the time to do this stuff. But I mean, I'm going to cheat on the naan because we have frozen naan and stuff. But it's like just make the sauce, and it'll just take me probably about 40 minutes to get everything together, and we'll eat it. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be crazy, but it'll be fun. But with that, I'm gonna just we'll cut off here, and I will leave everybody. I'm gonna give one of the recipes from Kirk Kooks, the unofficial Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza cookbook, when we come back.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.